Considering there are billions of people in this world, there might be hundreds of thousands of cannibals out there just waiting to strike. There have been infamous attacks such as the Miami attack, and there was also a restaurant in Nigeria that served human meat. It was shut down after the police got a tip that someone had seen 2 human heads in the kitchen. There are also cannibal chat rooms on certain parts of the deep web. This is where infamous cannibal Armin Meiwes found his victim. He also believes that there are more than 800 cannibals in Germany alone. To make this list even creepier, all of these attacks happened within the last 10 years. Welcome to 5 insane cannibal attacks of the past decade. Number 5. Matthew Williams' last meal. This attack happened in November of 2014 in Wales. Police rushed to the Sir Howie Arms Hotel in a village near Blackwood, South Wales, after they received a call from the security there claiming that a man was eating a woman's face. When they arrived, they allegedly found Matthew Williams ripping apart a woman's face with his teeth. The police tried to restrain him with a high voltage taser. They managed to arrest him, but he died minutes later from the shock of the taser. The woman was also pronounced dead at the scene from her injuries. 2 weeks before the attack, Matthew had been released from prison for violence charges. The official police report say they were called at 1:23 AM by security of the hotel. They said that the security told them that they heard a commotion coming from one of the rooms. They kicked down the door and found a man attacking a woman and was eating part of her face. The woman has been identified as 22-year-old Curry Yem. It's believed that her and Matthew met on a night out, then went back to the hotel together where the attack took place. The owner of the hotel allegedly said that Matthew's eyes were black and he was covered in blood, and that he had eaten her eyeball and half her face. It's believed that Matthew was on a combination of drugs, including Meow Meow, otherwise known as methadone, and was also on cocaine. He was dubbed in Wales as the Cannibal Killer. Number 4. Miami's zombie attack. This attack made headlines worldwide and also blew up on the internet. It occurred on May 26, 2012. A man by the name of Rudy Eugene attacked a homeless man by the name of Ronald Popo in Miami, Florida. The entire 18-minute attack was filmed, and some of it can be viewed on the internet. A nude Rudy accused Ronald of stealing his Bible. He then beat him unconscious, removed Ronald's pants, then tore most of his face off with his teeth. This included his left eye. The attack left Ronald with severe wounds. I won't show the images as some of our audience are young, but the images are available online. Ronald was lucky enough to survive the attack, but it left him with permanent deformities of his face. It also left him blind in both eyes. The attack finally came to an end when the police arrived and fatally shot Rudy. The cause of the attack is still unknown, although it has been speculated that Rudy was high on bath salts at the time of the attack. This was disproved as a toxicology report only found marijuana in his system, but several unidentified pills were found in his stomach which were believed to contain methadone. Rudy had an extensive criminal history in the past. He had been arrested 8 times since the age of 16. Most of the charges were assault. Rudy was dubbed as the Miami Zombie in the media. Since the attack, Ronald has spent most of his time in a medical center recovering. He also received $100,000 in a foundation fund thanks to the community. Number 3. Cannibal Mother. This attack occurred in December of 2014 in southern China. Straight after giving birth to her newborn son, the mother by the name of Lai Zhenghua tried to eat him. When a nurse entered the room, she found the mother chewing on the baby's arm. The nurse quickly informed others and they came rushing into the room. They then asked the mother to let go, but she wouldn't. They then tried to force the woman's mouth open, but she wouldn't let go. They eventually managed to get the baby free by sedating her. A nurse that worked there said it was really shocking. The arm was badly damaged and suffered not only heavy bruising but bleeding as a result of the bite. There isn't an explanation behind her attack, but it's believed to be caused by the events leading up to it. She had been kicked out and forced to live on the street once it was found out that she was pregnant. She was believed to be surviving on the street for several months before going into labour and being taken into the hospital. It's believed that due to these events and postpartum depression caused her to take these actions. Hospital staff has discussed whether to give the newborn baby back to the mother, but no more information has come up about this case, so it's unsure whether or not she's been allowed to keep her baby. Number 2. Gregory Hale. A 31-year-old man from Tennessee called Gregory Hale was arrested in June of 2014 for the murder of a woman by the name of Lisa Hyder. He met 36-year-old Lisa at a liquor store on June 8, 2014. They then went back to Gregory's parents' home and had sex. Shortly after this, Gregory killed Lisa and cut off all her limbs and decapitated her. He also ate some parts of her body before stuffing the parts into a plastic bucket. He was caught sometime after this after an anonymous source told the police that Gregory had asked them to help him dispose the body. He admitted to the police that he killed her and also consumed some of her flesh during the killing. He pleaded guilty to murder and was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole in January 2015. His neighbours described him as sick and also said that he told them that he was a devil worshipper. He was also fired from his job at a slaughterhouse as he would take home bones and jars of blood and told his colleagues that he was doing rituals with them. Number 1. Vince Weiyuang Lai. This attack occurred on July 30 of 2008. The victim was a 22-year-old Canadian man by the name of Tim McLean. Vince attacked and killed him on a Greyhound Canada bus next to Manitoba. Tim was returning to his home in Manitoba after leaving work in Alberta. Tim sat on the back of the bus. Vince then got on sometime shortly after this and sat on the front of the bus, but then relocated and sat directly next to Tim. Tim then fell asleep. Vince then pulled out a large knife and began to stab Tim in the neck and chest several times. The bus driver quickly pulled to the side of the road and the bus was evacuated. Vince then decapitated Tim and displayed his head to passengers outside of the bus. He then began to cut off Tim's flesh and started to eat it. A heavily armed tactical unit arrived at the scene and had a standoff with Vince. Vince then began to have sex with the corpse. Police said that during this, he also started to eat the flesh once again. Police then shot Vince with a taser and managed to handcuff him. Parts of Tim's body was taken off the bus, but his ear, nose and tongue was found in Vince's pockets. His eyes and heart were never recovered. In court, Vince was found not to be criminally responsible for the crimes due to insanity. He was taken to a high-security mental health facility in Manitoba. The scene was so horrific that one of the first responders took his own life in 2014 because of the devastating sight that he saw. His note said, "I'm too broken to ever be fixed." As of 2015, Vince is allowed to leave the mental health facility whenever he wants and doesn't have to be supervised. It was after an appeal in 2014, as he claimed he was cured and doesn't hear voices anymore. The appeal was granted, so he is now allowed to leave without being supervised. It was ruled out that the cause of the attack was due to an hallucination Vince was suffering due to untreated schizophrenia. He is allowed to visit places such as Winnipeg and other parts of Canada without supervision, but any place too far, then he must be supervised by a guard. If you want more on cannibals, then we have a whole bunch of videos about them, so just click on one of these pictures that you're interested in and it will take you to the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to keep updated with our videos. Goodbye.